crypto market is on the cusp of a major move, and I have evidence to show you this, and it's only shown 4 times before. This will be the 5th time that this indicator has flashed, and could it be that it's going to be a big move to the upside? Well, stay tuned for the rest of the show because we're going to identify the short, the medium, and the long-term time frames. And if you look at the Banter Bubbles chart over here on the daily, having a little bit of a pullback based off of the major move that took place over the course of the weekend. Is it going to have been one of those situations of you can't trust a weekend pump? Well, I'm giving you all the pivot levels on today's show, so make sure you mark those off on your charts and stay prepared because there is going to be a huge move. And you can see that if you look at this chart over here. Let me just move my head out the way. So if you look at the bottom circles on the yellow circles at the bottom of the chart over here, this basically suggests the volatility within Bitcoin, and anytime that the volatility comes into these zones and starts to tick back up, that's the important part, right? It has to tick back up. That is indicative that volatility is kicking into the market. And remember, this volatility indicator is direction neutral, meaning that it could go up or down. So we have a couple of sample sizes, only 4. This is now the 5th time that we're having a potential move out of that zone. The prior times led to the following move. So first, we had a move in 2019. It was 160% towards the upside. Then we had another one in 2020 when that volatility indicator lifted off, and that led to a negative 47.67% move to the downside. Then we had another one which took place over here in August of 2020, and that led to a massive move of 484% to the upside. And then the last one that we had took place over here in May of 2022, and that led to a negative 46.42%. So basically we have 2 ups and 2 downs. So is it going to be 50-50? Well, this is why it's so important to zoom in, look on the lower time frames, and then look for those opportunities to basically time your entry once you clear a pivot level. So let's have a look. What could be a catalyst for this next major move? This catalyst would be bullish if it were to play out. Andrew Kang says over here, BlackRock filing for a Bitcoin spot ETF with a 99.8% approval track record is the most positive news that we've had in a while, potentially opening the floodgates to tens of billions of flows. Yet Bitcoin is only up 6% from this news. It feels like a mispricing. So if this were to take effect, I think it was something like 496 out of the 497 Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, out of the ETF filings that BlackRock have done came true, which means Bitcoin is the only one that we'll be waiting for. And I also read that I think it takes approximately 250 days on the maximum end before one of their Bitcoin or their ETFs get approved. So basically waiting for that. If you look over here at 𝗕𝗆𝗄𝗎𝗍, what is the effect of it? If you look here, shown below is when gold launched, allowing easy access to gold exposure for investors. If or when BlackRock, who has a 99% again ETF approval, Bitcoin ETF launches very similar structure to gold, expect a similar price action as it unlocks access to Bitcoin's exposure for the masses. So there you have it. This was gold, which happened all the way back in 2005, and it led to a massive move, 359% for gold. Remember, gold's been around for thousands of years. It's always had a really big market cap. So you can expect the magnitude of how this would affect Bitcoin would probably be a lot greater than what you would have seen in gold. So keep an eye on that. We will be watching this closely. I'm sure it's going to make huge news. Of course, you'd have to be sleeping under a rock to miss this when it does actually get approved and come out. And Andrew says over here, update, you got digital assets and Fidelity about to make a seismic move in crypto via both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And sources expect Fidelity to either make a bid for Grayscale, so to buy them out, or quickly launch their own Bitcoin ETF. One or both of those are going to be coming soon. So now you got a BlackRock and Fidelity potential ETF, meaning that they're going to own essentially the crypto space. But since they have such massive funds, it will bring enormous amounts of money into the market. So definitely keep an eye out on that. Could that be a catalyst? It definitely could be. Now, looking at price action over here, this is just covering off of what we said on Saturday's stream. So I did a stream on Saturday. Not much has changed yet, other than we have the weekly close, which did close green and it closed above the 21 and the 200 exponential moving average on the weekly time frame, which generally is a bullish and a good sign. And ultimately, we're looking for this to be confirmed as the next high low. If you're a bit of a degen and you have a better or a high risk appetite, then you could technically be bidding around this area with your stop loss below the wick. But if you're waiting for a safe entry and for ultimate confirmation, you really want to see Bitcoin close a candle above $28,000. Once Bitcoin closes above $28,000 here, you can say without a shadow of a doubt that this downtrend, which has been taking place over here for the last couple of months, has come to its end, and we've now confirmed this is the next high low, and ultimately that means you're looking for sideways and upwards over time, right? So holding the supporting trend line, everything looks intact and perfect for Bitcoin over there. If you look at the Gaussian channel over here on the weekly time frame, same thing. We do have the dotted line over here, which is the same supporting trend line. We also came into the middle band of that Gaussian channel and bounced off of that zone, so you can have a look at that. But we're still holding below the 9 and the 18 EMA over here on the weekly time frame, and we don't want to see that cross down. So that's one warning sign that we want to be closely considering and watching going forward. If you see the white, the 9 cross below the 18, that would be a bearish sign. At that point, you would probably break the middle of the Gaussian channel, and that means you're potentially moving all the way back down, and you would fill 50% of this wick, right? The wick that took place over here. You'll be looking for 50% of that level to get tagged, meaning $20,879 would be on the cards. But so far, it's looking good for the bulls. It's looking better for the bulls than the bears, and it's not over yet, right? All right, the 4-day chart, same thing. We're coming into the resistance over here, the conglomerate of different moving averages. We're looking for this to cross up. Again, same thing. If that gets lost, you're coming into a demand area between that $23,000 and $24,000 level. And if the bulls do take control, you do have the massive cup and handle. You can't deny it. It looks picture perfect, right? Yes, we left this area ever so slightly, but more or less, if you put it onto a line chart, it looks pretty good. So there you have it. Cup and handle, price pushes up, coming into the handle, which also happens to be a falling wedge. The only thing is when everybody's been looking at a falling wedge for a long period of time, what's the probability that it's not going to really test the bulls, which tells me that there is a potential, right, that you start to see something like that, really scare them out of the market and then maybe reclaim, which brings in that scenario of sweeping just below $24,000. That lines up with our low time frame analysis. From a technical standpoint, that would be the perfect retest. Otherwise, if you're going to wait for confirmation, you're waiting for a break of the diagonal trend line, which happens to be the top side of the handle, right? You got the top side of the handle. Again, once you break out above that level, then you can say the cup and handle formation is starting to play out, and your measured move, your first level of interest takes you to $35,200, and your top side is going to be at $45,000 for that massive cup and handle move. So pay attention to that. Let me know in the comments as well. What are you doing? Have you taken any trades? Are you playing this cup and handle move or looking for a breakout on it? Also, take a second out of your day to smash the like button. Just helps to get the show content out there, and then we will continue. So looking at the 2-day time frame, we have the Ichimoku cloud over here. We did have a test into the bottom side of that cloud, and it seems to be holding. So looking for this bounce to play out, break above the $27,000, and you're back on the top of the cloud. And then we're watching on the bottom over here with the ADX, DI negative and DI positive. We want to see these cross back up, right? So at the moment, it still is on the at least according to the Ichimoku cloud, if you've been trading this, the bears have the slight edge. We want to see the DI negative, which is indicative of the bears control, come back down, and we want to see the bulls lift back up, take control over here, and that's supported by the ADX trending on upwards. Once we have that, that probably takes place once Bitcoin clears above that $28,000 level, in line with the pivot levels that I've just shown you. Break above that, and all of this probably plays out, signaling that the bulls are back in control. Okay. Otherwise, for the time being, it's more consolidative environment. RENKO chart, you can see the tinges of green which are forming over here, meaning if bulls continue to hold this price action over here or move price a little bit higher, then it is potential that this is going to flip back green. Otherwise, it's still trend down, and you're looking for an ultimate tag of, again, 23,900. Same levels that we've been looking at for quite a long period of time. That is the daily time frame. Okay, we got price also still stuck on the daily over here below the key monthly, which is coming in at 26,900, as well as below the diagonal over here. We have been focusing on this as a range to hold, right? This is the new range that we want to see price action hold within. And as long as it can hold within this over the next couple of months, this would be your reaccumulation phase and ultimately could lead to prices trending on higher over time. So I see somebody says, Burke says that we failed on the 200 MA. I'm assuming he's talking about the weekly time frame. We did indeed. We failed the 200 weekly, but bear in mind, as an asset becomes more and more mature, you're going to retest and oscillate around that 200 weekly a lot more than previously, right? So previously, the 200 weekly moving average was really the main moving average that traders would look at within Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. That's no longer going to be the case. The asset is maturing more and more. We already spent in the region of 4 months below the 200 weekly, which is incredibly bearish, right? That means that if you're using that as your narrative, it means that ultimately you should be fully exited out of crypto and expecting that it's going to trend back down towards zero. So expect price is going to go up and below that 200 weekly average more and more in the future. Okay, looking at this as a potential range, so we've covered that. Again, you can see here is the 200 daily though, so this is one that I think holds more relevance now in Bitcoin as it becomes more and more mature, at least if you're swing traders. That orange 200 daily moving average, as that trends up, as long as we're holding above that and it's angled upwards, keyword, it must be angled upwards, then it signals that it's reaccumulation, right? And the price could start to trend upwards over time. Okay, Bitcoin over here on the daily time frame with our pivot level. Your pivot level is currently at 26,000 and we are holding above that. So as long as we don't drop back below that level, again, bulls have the opportunity to send price higher and break the top side of the channel. Ethereum is holding at, again, right above the pivot level, only marginally at 1,719. So they need to continue to do so if they want to target the top side of this channel. The top side of the channel would also be akin to that cup and handle, break that trend line, and things can go higher. Until then, it's just consolidating, right? That's the environment that we're in, is a consolidative environment for Bitcoin. Okay, look at the trend over here. So again, this is the low time frame on the 4-hour chart. Again, what is that? Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower highs. The lower highs continue on the 4-hour time frame. We have not broken that trend towards the upside yet, and there is a lot of resistance over here between the mid-range and the diagonal downtrend. We are coming into that 200 exponential moving average, which is the blue one, and we need to break and hold above that. Bitcoin needs to break and hold above that. And once it does, it has a chance to get the 50 to cross back above the 200. Otherwise, until such time, that continues to remain resistance, right? It is resistance, that's resistance, that's resistance. And the top of the range or the mid-range over there is also resistance, adding validity to why it's so important to get above that $28,000 level, right? Once you get above that $28,000 level, you clear all of this all this resistance over here, and you start to switch the high time frame bias, and then it opens up the trade opportunities to target the range highs, which is coming at around that $30,000 level, and then break above that, and you have a nice trending move at play. So that's kind of what I'm watching over here. Basically, what I'm saying on the 4-hour time frame, for me personally, this is really a no trade zone. My ultimate long entry on a big spot bag would have been a tag into the bottom of this diagonal trend line. It got front run. Could have come back there. Yes, it's still a possibility. Fred's back here blowing fishes against the windows. If only you guys knew this guy was a co-founder of Crypto Banter. Can you believe it? Okay, guys. So basically, best long scenario on a spot trade would be a long into the diagonal trend line over here. Otherwise, this whole area between 25 and 28,000 is a no trade zone for me as a swing trader. Making that clear, as a swing trader, remember, as a low time frame day trader, we have been taking the trades off the range low and into the range high, and then we're looking to flip short again off of that range high. So I'll give you those levels in a moment. Okay, look over here. If you do want a whole lot of information, I actually only just realized how much information Coinglass provides. It's fantastic over here. You got your liquidation levels on the bottom, your open interest, so you can gauge when open interest is starting to ramp up. You have your funding rates over here, so you can see that's when it's negative, right? When it's negative, you're looking to fade price. So if it goes negative into support, So look at that. Let's say if you're coming into support and you see funding rate goes negative, now you're looking to play the other way and go long. When you see extremely positive funding rate like this, meaning that longs are piling into the market and it's coming into resistance, same thing, you want to look to fade that level. So according to this, we are coming now, right, into that extremely positive funding rate territory, and we're coming into resistance, which I just showed you on the 4-hour time frame. And therefore, on a lower time frame basis, I would start to look for weakness and an opportunity to flip short and take profits on the long trades, which were taken off of the lows. So that's what you have over there. Where is your main liquidity stacked? You can see on the left, look, we price pushed into the liquidity, tag that level, into the next liquidity zone, tag that level, and then into the main liquidity over here at about 27,000, tag that zone, and now your main liquidity is sitting just below 25,000. So $24,650 is where a lot of people have their orders stacked. So what does that look like on the low time frame? Well, this was the trade setup, right? This was everything that we looked at. Here's your ultimate range. Your range coming in at $27,463 exactly. So you can mark that level off. 27,463. That is your range high. Your range low on the low time frame, again, hourly chart, is coming in at 25,351. It's written in red over there. We were initially viewing the sweep below to grab that liquidity. The liquidity here was taken. Okay. Price then broke back into the range. Held there. You had a wick that came down, and that shot price towards the upside. I do also have the fib tool on, taken from the low to the current high, which has your 0.382 level coming in at $26,000. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this price level is if you do see price dip and come into that $26,000 zone, I would expect demand to kick in there if price is going to make it to the top of the range. If it holds that level, you want to continue to play your longs all the way to 27,400. Once you sweep above 27,400, watch for the break back down into the range, the swing failure pattern, right? You're looking at this left-hand side over here. So if you look at these wicks, let's just zoom in. Here you have it. So you have equal highs, high 1, high 2. This is untapped liquidity. You expect this liquidity over... Hold on, guys. Sorry, I just opened something else. Let's grab that again. So you expect this liquidity over here. Have I got that tool? It's a bit laggy. Okay, there you go. We're looking for a tag of this region over here, which means price should get at least to 27,400. But if you start to break and hold below the 0.832 level, which is 26,000 as a price point, then you're going to expect that this is going to fade all the way back down. Okay, so for now, in the low time frame, the edge is definitely towards the bulls, looking for a further push up above that trend line at 27,400, swing failure back into the range, and then you can short from there, probably back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, so that's what we're watching over there. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance continues to rip towards the upside. We'll monitor this closely, but according to the bull flag, which is your pole over here, your flag formation, the measured move takes it up to 54.39%. Okay, Ethereum against Bitcoin. The ETH BTC chart, we had the rejection below the mid-range, and we're continuing to hold under the resistance trend line until such time as ETH BTC reclaims above the mid-range, which is coming in at 0.0692, written on the right-hand side over there. Until such time as you get back above that level, it's going to be risk towards the downside on altcoins. So, guys, also remember, if you are trading on, if you signed up to an exchange using a US IP address, or if you submitted US documents to BitGet, then from Wednesday, unfortunately, you will not be able to trade there. One of my recommendations is to check out CoinW, because you don't need a VPN or anything. So far, it's still pretty legal to trade over there if you're a US citizen. They haven't said anything to them yet. You have a sign-up bonus of up to $10,040 if you're a Crypto Banter viewer, meaning you just have to click the link in the description below. And then you also do get, if you deposit $100, you'll get up to $40 additional, right? $10 USDT cash plus a $30 USDT sign-up bonus. So you're making 40% on each $100 already that you're depositing. 15% trading fee refund for your first 7 days. So you want to take your most trades in the first 7 days, 15% big discount, and then extra $10,000 futures trading bonus to those who meet the requirements, which are listed below. So click the link in the description below, smash the like button as well, hit the bell notification, and make sure that you are signed up and subscribed to the channel. Also, let me know in the comments for tomorrow, which altcoins do you want me to trade? I will look through the comment section. Wait for the live stream to end so that it can actually sit in the post stream comment section. That's where I want to look. Have a look. I want to see there which charts you want charted for tomorrow. Give me the time frame and the trading pair. So let's stick with a 4-hour and a daily. So give me either the 4-hour, the daily, and the trading pair, and I'll make sure to bring that into tomorrow's stream. I'll see you all on tomorrow's stream. Have a great day. That's it from me, and cheers for now.